a matter of weeks, she was frequently, visiting the hospital until she passed away. So when she passed away, the man then showed up and said I needed to give thanks to his master. Honestly speaking, I was never told that I had to take my wife's life in order to be rich. I wouldn't have done it if I knew. We get so desperate for money and people's respect that we end up going miles that we're not supposed to go. I was struggling for many years, but in all these struggles, I always had my wife by my side. In that days too, she stood by me firmly. We were both unemployed until she decided to go back to school to further her studies. And the next thing I know, she was done with her education and was now qualified as a social worker. To be honest with you, this made me feel less of a man and I became very depressed. My wife used to sell anything she could get a hold of. She would sell clothes, bags, jewelry, hair, curtains, so on, like everything. The money that she was selling these things is the money that helped her further her studies. And her being employed now made me feel way less of a man. I tried to be happy for her, but I became insecure and jealous. I wanted to control her, and I became physically abusive as well towards her and the kids. This was because I honestly felt like I wasn't a man enough for her. So I used my muscles. I used my muscles' power to control her since I couldn't financially control her. I wanted her to still view me as a man. So the muscle power were all I could bring to the table, and I became an obsessive monster. To be honest with you, I became an alcoholic because I felt the need to hide away myself from the reality that I have failed as a man and I'm being financially taken care of by a woman. I would sleep at taverns and forever drunk, and I made her a laughing stock because I hated bathing so much. It came to a point where I started smelling very bad so much that she ended up building me a one room outside the house where I could sleep alone because I refused to bath. She would clean it for me whenever I left and also leave me home cooked meal every day. She made sure I had food and clean clothes, but I wouldn't wear the clothes, even the new one, because I felt like she was taking my dignity away as a man, providing for me. One day while I was sitting at some local tavern, came a man who sat quietly next to me and just kept on buying a lot of beers, but he wasn't holding any conversation, just straight answers when I spoke to him. We sat together until they closed at the tavern. And then we walked home, and by then I had already told him all my challenges in life and just how much I hated my wife. He told me that he has the powers to restore my dignity again. The man became a regular at that tavern, and I also kept going there because now that meant free beers for me. He continued with the same topic each and every time, and I grew interest. Finally, I accepted to try it out, and all I can say is the guy made me go to a foreign traditional healer who gave me mood to use at my house. I did as instructed, and my wife started getting very ill. Her legs got swollen, and the next thing she couldn't walk. Within a matter of weeks, she was frequently, visiting the hospital until she passed away. So when she passed away, the man then showed up and said I needed to give thanks to his master. Honestly speaking, I was never told that I had to take my wife's life in order to be rich. I wouldn't have done it if I knew. So when I asked why, I wasn't told that I was going to give my wife's life away in exchange for riches. Then I was informed that I shouldn't be asking questions that could never be undone. It is what it is. So at first I refused to give the thanks. Then I was warned that I'll lose my kids too. I had to save my children, so I did as told. The Thanksgiving wasn't a form of money. To my surprise, I had to sleep with my dead wife before burying her, then wash her private part with mochi and water. And then the water that I used to wash her, I was told that I should drink half of it, and the other half I should give it to the man, and he will give it to his master. So on the Friday evening that my wife got back, I asked for a private moment with her, and I was left in the room with her, and I performed the instruction given. To be honest with you, to this day, I still don't understand why I did what I did. But I did it. And guess what? I've never received any miracle wealth, even a cent or a penny. Nothing. The money I received was from my late wife's policy. That's all I got. Now, to be honest with you, I'm not doing well. I'm a mess. I now see and smell my wife everywhere I go. Sometimes I even think I'm going crazy because I always see her crying, but not tears. Blood rolls down her eyes and she just stares at me looking very sad. It pains me. It pains me alive. It is eating me alive. She follows me everywhere. And I'm even starting to feel like I'm losing my mind because, the things that I see are only seen by me and not anyone else. And, even if I were to tell someone this, they won't believe me because I only see her. Maybe it's because I knew what I did to her. So I came to this channel to look for help. If there's anyone who can help me, lay my wife to for a final rest in peace so that I can be peaceful. I would really appreciate the help. Guys, please save me before I lose myself.